There is a tropical disturbance in the Gulf. Is it going to do anything? Let's take a look. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak with Weather 2020. Good morning. If it is morning, on this Saturday morning, here's your update. This is a very interesting weather pattern that continues to evolve. We'll start by taking a look at the first slide here. Last year, it was quite an active hurricane season. Major hurricanes developed. So far this season, it's quiet. This was Hurricane Aaron and Humberto. And last year, the pattern was cycling at every 6 weeks or so, 42 days. And these just happened to be 42 days apart. And they took almost the same track. Very interesting. Only 2 of the 4 Category 5 hurricanes in history that didn't make landfall. These didn't make landfall. Isn't that amazing? They came close to the islands, but never made landfall. Look at this. This season so far we've had Arthur. The next one will be Bertha, then Cristobal. And we're predicting 8 to 12 named storms this season, as you can see here. 8 to 12 named storms. So that is our prediction, as you can see there. Also, the normal is 14 named storms. 4 to 7 hurricanes is our forecast. 7 is average. 2 to 3 majors, 3 is average. And the total ACE, or accumulated cyclone energy, our forecast is 105, 90 to 120 in that range. And 123 is average. So a below average hurricane season is in the outlook, and it has been acting that way already. Usually in El Nino years, summers are quieter on hurricane season. It's about a 90% probability that it will be below average, and that's one of the reasons why we went below average. And by the way, Weather 2020 has been the most accurate for 3 years in a row, from 22 to 2024. To be completely authentic, last year we didn't do as well. We forecasted way too many. But for 3 years in a row, and we expect to get right back to our lead, we were number 1 in the world for hurricane prediction. This is the predictions from 25 different organizations for named storms, hurricanes, ACE, and major hurricanes. Notice this one over here. This one predicts 4 to 8. Weather 2020, 8 to 12. And these are all the forecasts that came out before hurricane season started. And we were one of the 3 lowest forecasts. And we expect us to be in that 8 to 12 range. And LRC is the centerpiece of the big atmospheric jigsaw. There are other influences. La Nina, El Nino, the Arctic Oscillation. As you probably have heard, a super El Nino is forecast, or a strong El Nino. We will see how strong it gets. But remember, regardless of El Nino or La Nina, something bigger is going on, and the LRC is the centerpiece of the big atmospheric jigsaw. So we will be talking about this more as the new pattern sets up next October and November. Right now, this is the only disturbance being tracked in the Atlantic Basin at this moment. There's a disturbed area of showers and thunderstorms in the Gulf, and you can see there they are, and the sinking air around it, but rising air in the middle of it, and you can see the system here, not very organized west of Florida, drifting west. It is forecast to continue to drift west to south of the Florida Panhandle, head towards Louisiana, probably dissipate. But this shows some organization by Monday on the HRRR model. So something to watch closely. Where is the anticyclone? The weather pattern that's causing the heat, it's centered over Colorado today, and it's suppressing thunderstorm activity. We need some rain here, but it just won't happen. It's been a very dry season, and that will continue. There's a big anticyclone over the Atlantic today. Now, there's also Tropical Storm Alida in the Pacific. The Pacific's active. A strong hurricane is forecast to develop down there, and you can see here the anticyclone. Remember, an anticyclone is the opposite of a storm system, and it is forecasted to strengthen, sinking air and heat building over Oklahoma and Texas by Wednesday. And these are the two anticyclones. There's still the jet stream's way up to the north, and it flows around this system in eastern Canada. That'll drive a cold front through the eastern part of the country. By the end of July, a strong anticyclone is forecast, and it will likely create a heat wave, a significant one. If you remember, back in December, we predicted late July into mid-August for the part of the pattern to be more conducive for a really strong heat wave, and it looks like it's starting to show up. Also, another hurricane in the Pacific, but quiet over the Atlantic Ocean. Heat by July 29th. Look at that. Heat across North Dakota, South Dakota again. And this time expanding across Texas and the West. So a big heat wave is likely near the end of the month while the East continues to enjoy a cooler summer. This is the rainfall forecast for the next 15 days. Notice the rain around the anticyclone, and parts of Kansas and Oklahoma get no rain in the next 15 days. So there could be some problems with drying out in some of the fields. But this is the forecast rainfall for the next 15 days. If you're interested, contact us, hello@weather2020.com. You can have access to our LRC model. More on that on Tuesday. And very interesting. So thank you for being members, and we appreciate you very, very much. And a lot to discuss as the heat of summer builds in. The jet stream reaches its weakest point and its farthest north position near the end of July and early August. So yeah, we're predicting a major heat wave, but we don't predict a major heat wave every single year at the end of July and early August, but we are this year. Have a good day.